Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I slept pretty badly last night because yesterday's video got demonetized and I'd spent a while on it. I thought it was a really good idea. I mean, the comments and like the response to the video have been incredible from you guys, and it always is incredible from you guys, but it's really disheartening when you put a lot of work into something and then it gets demonetized, and it was manually demonetized as well. All my videos, by the way, now are manually reviewed by someone at YouTube to check if they're okay or not. And I just kind of want to debate why this video is demonetized, because to me, the system doesn't really make any sense. So I've actually made, this is really sad, I've made a PowerPoint presentation to explain to you guys how YouTube works and why it's confusing to me. And one of the reasons like this worries me as well is YouTube just changed their terms and conditions recently to say that if your channel isn't commercially viable anymore, then they have the sole right to just delete it. So it's like, obviously that means, and as well, because this is my full-time job, you want your videos to earn income and not be, demonetized. And if it doesn't do that, then, you can't do YouTube anymore, can you? So you kind of got to play the YouTube game and the system. And before we get into this, I want to quickly mention, thanks so much to everyone who's, just jumped over to Patreon and supported me after my last video I made about the YouTube copyright claim, and how the system is so one-sided that it meant that all my YouTube donations from that live stream also went to the copyright claimant. Literally stole the donation money that you guys gave me just because of how misleading that system is. Today's subject of the video is about why yesterday's video got demonetized. So let me open my PowerPoint presentation. So as you can see, yesterday's video says it has limited adverts, not suitable for most adverts, confirmed by a manual review. Now, obviously, it still sounds like it's monetized, but I'll literally prove it in a second to you. It's going to earn no money. It may as well be demonetized. It remains fully playable and is eligible to earn subscription revenue from YouTube Premium, which means YouTube Red, and I'll show you guys it. That's like nothing basically. So this video here is a video I made a while back about Skyrim and Rogvir's execution, which was one of my favorite videos actually. It got 1 million views. It did really, really well. However, if you have a look, it says here it's monetized, okay? So it's generating revenue, right? If you check in the YouTube video section though, you'll see here that it says monetization is on, but it's actually only 18 plus. So this video is age restricted. Age restricted videos aren't suitable for adverts. So even though it says it's monetized, it's not. It's not earning money, okay? And YouTube don't really do any adult adverts anyway. So it's to Google and YouTube, it's just like, what does it matter? And I'll show you the revenue for this video just to prove it. But this is another thing. So obviously YouTube has the YouTube for Kids thing now. This video has an option that I can tell YouTube, yes, it's made for kids, despite YouTube restricting it. As you can see, yes, restrict my video to viewers over 18, and this is set by YouTube, so I can't change this. So despite it being set for viewers over 18, I can also say, yes, it's made for kids, and then it will be suggested to them according to this. I'm obviously not going to do that because I strongly believe we should protect children, and I think they're doing the right thing there, though clearly there's loopholes and they're not going about it the right way. But you can see how messy this is, how messy this system is. So this is the revenue for the video, and as you can see, it got 71,000 views, and at this point it wasn't demonetized. So at the start when I first released it, it wasn't demonetized. So it got $200 for 70,000 views, which is really, really good. Usually like $1 per 1,000 views is kind of like average, I'd say, but this is really, really good revenue. Like, it's doing incredibly well, basically. And then, as you can see, after that, it got demonetized. So the revenue shot down to here, despite there still being lots of views. You can see it's really low now. So it's not getting any revenue despite still getting views. If you have a look at the next slide here, you can see it has 16,000 views here, made $4. So that is effective, because this video has limited ads effectively. So they just don't generate revenue anymore because the advertisers that are okay to advertise over content that's considered violent or, controversial or something are effectively getting cheap ads for their money. So as someone who makes their income off adverts, you're no longer getting any money if YouTube decide that your content isn't advertiser friendly. So that's why it's so important. That's why I've stopped literally swearing in any video, tried to limit all kinds of, violent content, and just it doesn't make a difference. So that shows you that situation. And now we look back at this and you can see yesterday's video was confirmed by a manual reviewer that it wasn't suitable for adverts. Why? So let's have a look. And there is actually a feedback option here. So let's have a look at that feedback. So here it says, violence, situations showing hurt, damage, or injury. Reviewer indicated real injury or violence with blood shown as part of sports, accidents, pranks, fails, or animal violence. Dramatized violence, showing excessive blood and gore as part of animations, comedy, drama, video games, or music videos. But the thing is there's not excessive violence in the video at all. So I would actually disagree with this point, and I'll explain why now. And I would disagree with this based on what YouTube says violence is, because that's what I go off. That's what I have been going off. So he thinks the video is violent. If we look here at the violence section on the YouTube creator website, you can see content where the focal point is blood, violence, or injury when presented without additional context. It is not suitable for advertising. So if you're showing violent content in a news, educational, artistic, or documentary context, that additional context is important. I mean, my video is like a how-to tutorial explaining things, and I'm not going to lie, only like less than 20% of the video is actually got some form of combat in it, okay? And I've had videos previously that just haven't had that issue. And this, to me, you read this description, and it sounds really quite graphic content. Like if you're playing Doom Eternal and you're cutting someone's head off or something, I could understand that being demonetized. Or explosions, bombings, execution videos, violent acts committed against animals, which when it said execution videos, this word is actually tagged, which is why the previous video example I showed you, saving Roderick from execution, got demonetized because it had the word execution in the title, which was flagged, and that's what demonetized it. So it's silly. But anyway, this is what YouTube deem as violence, okay? So bear that in mind. This was the video I released yesterday. Skyrim 5 tips you should know after 8 years of playing. Now, I wrote down how much violence there is in the video. Now, in total, there's 107 seconds of combat. It's just combat. It's not really much blood or extreme violence going on. I mean, it's Skyrim, which is rated 15 in the UK, okay? So clearly it's a mature game, but it's, still appropriate for younger viewers to watch, according to the independent body organisation in the UK that, rated the game when it came out. So it has 107 seconds of violence out of 620 seconds. What's that? 17% of the video has combat in it, okay? So bearing in mind what we read before, the focal point isn't blood, violence, or injury at all. So I was okay, so clearly I don't need to rate it as a extremely violent video, do I? Because, there's no extreme violence happening, and I'm literally cooking and mining for half the video, for goodness sake. And I'm talking over it, and I'm talking about tactics and whatnot, and playing the game, and it's a fun, light-hearted video. So here we have a look at when you upload a video, you can now self-rate it. So what I usually say is mild violence, injury without showing blood or graphic content, or dramatized violence as part of video games, animation, comedy, drama, or music videos. Okay, allow ads. So then if you go beyond this, this is the red zone. So this is limited ads and then not suitable for ads. So the reviewer said that it was this. He said it was real injury or violence with blood shown as part of sports, accident, pranks, fails. But it's not real injury or violence. That's the thing. So, only if it's real blood with real people can it be limited ads, is based on what it's saying, right? Or if it's video games, it has to be dramatized, violence, showing excessive blood and gore as part of animations and comedy drama videos. And the thing is this is obviously, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, if I watch this and I'm like, no, this isn't extreme violence in video games, and maybe you guys let me know what you think in the comment section as well. It's subjective, that's the word. So depending who reviews your content, and I know this for a fact because I've had videos with more violence that I'm not going to show you guys because they'll probably get demonetized now if I point them out. But videos that had way more violence in, that got away with mild violence and injury because obviously they're video games. And I thought that was fine. But based on yesterday's video getting limited adverts on it, like what do I do? Like, how there's no black and white. This is this is that. And it's like, okay, so it's just your word against mine. So yeah, it's I just don't understand what to do anymore because clearly like it's a subjective thing that my livelihood depends on, that someone comes along and says, oh, this video is not okay, this one is. And it's like, well, you're saying two different things now, in some cases 3 different things. So it's like, how am I meant to, I know this is literally just a rant now, isn't it? But you know, when like I'm paying for a bloody mortgage and I've got myself, my fiance and 2 cats to feed, it's like, yeah, well, obviously it's going to worry me, isn't it? Like, no matter what you do. And it's like I said to everyone in the last video, like, this is just a sinking ship that we're all on and we've all got everything invested and all our audience invested. So it's like you kind of just has to take the hits where they come. But I don't know, like, I disagree with their rating of the video. And it's really quite upsetting when you see that because you've spent a lot of time and effort into the video. And I'd love to sit down with someone and talk to them about it. No, they literally... Okay, look at this. This is a video made by YouTube on what violence is, okay? So, injury without showing blood or graphic content, blah, blah, blah. We already read that. And then there's a guy that, like, explains what that is, but he literally just, like, reiterates it and, like, says it in different words. So it's like, there's no examples given. It's, like, just the most useless video ever. It doesn't inform anyone what it actually is and what it's meant to be, because YouTube like deliberately leave it as a grey area so that if there's ever an issue, they can decide what's okay and what's not, and they can just say, oh, that slipped under our radar. So it's kind of like, I guess, to the detriment of video game players like me, and also sometimes positive, I guess, because we still get to play video games and monetize them. But at the same time, it just leaves me in a position around like, what do I do then? Like, I don't know anymore. So yeah, like literally, like the only reason I guess I'm making this video is just to vent my frustration, and I guess you could call it a cry for help as well, because like, I'm not gonna lie, Patreon is like my consistent form of income. It's like, if I work on a video for like a week and then I upload it and it gets demonetized or not, you don't know. It's like a 50-50 chance. So how can you plan your work around something that's like 50-50 going to earn an estimated amount of revenue or not? And I mean, even at the best of times when YouTube was like fine back in the day a few years ago, when, you know, I didn't bother with Patreon, I didn't ever promote it or anything like that, like, and revenue was still up and down, but at least I knew what time of year things were going to be good. When things get demonetized now, like the best time of year, it's like, well, that sucks, you know, that's it. So like, Patreon is a consistent form of income. It's something I can plan around. It's something that, like, I know you guys, the fans, the subscribers, are going to be there at the end of the day. And that's like literally what I bargain on. That's like my, like, thank God that you guys are here, man. Thank God that I have as many supporters as I do. I'm one of the lucky ones though, because there's a lot of other people. I mean, for example, YouTube being able to shut down your channel if it's not commercially viable, and you're not allowed to monetize your channel until you get to a certain viewership. So it's like, if you're costing YouTube too many resources, I guess they'll just be like, no, we'll get rid of you then. What kind of... They always say about supporting the creators and stuff like that, but this is not supportive at all. This is... YouTube is really dictating the type of content I'm making, and even with Patreon giving me an element of freedom because I know that income's still coming in. Because all my videos are getting manually reviewed now, I feel like I'm under a magnifying glass. And obviously, if I start, like, I've done a whole Dark Souls playthrough that my fiance has edited, the whole Dark Souls 2 Let's Play, basically, that we live streamed on Twitch. And I've not uploaded it in about half a year now because I'm just terrified that it's going to put my channel on the blacklist of channels that just, are like, ooh, dangerous, touchy, too much swearing there, too much this, too much that. So I try to bend over backwards as much as I can to make my channel YouTube friendly. But then when that video from yesterday gets demonetized, I'm like, well, what do you want me to do? It's like as safe as that can be, and it's got limited ads, and I'm like, well, if that's the future of video game content, then where does that leave me? Just trying to get by on videos that are getting 70,000 views but earning $2. It's like, what do you want me to do? I can show you lots of other examples of limited advert videos that I've got in my entire catalogue of video selection, the thousands of videos I made that have, I'm just done, man.